this video I want to talk about making a stitch pattern. What I'm looking for is something to go down the center here. This leaf, I've done a triple stitch around here and I could just go with that, but when you've got as many stitches as I've got on this machine, why not use them? So one of the stitches that I love is actually in the decorative stitches, and I've got this lovely little satin heart. Now I've got it in two directions, side on and like front on as well. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to do a pattern of a heart and then a gap and then another heart and then another heart. So number one, I want to see how long that pattern's going to be, because I can measure where I want it to go along here, and I also want, I think, to do some two to the side, finishing with a heart as well, because I've got this kind of heart shape going on here. So the way to do that is, in another video I talk about bridging stitches, but if I go in to put in just one stitch separately, and I then go into my bridging stitches, which are here, and I start adding, I'm thinking, oh look, it's a center one here, but if I add the center, it just doesn't look quite enough, does it? So I'm sort of thinking, not 100% sure about that. So okay, come back underneath, take that one away, and then put in a triple stitch. And I could put a triple stitch there, but I feel like I'm making it harder than it needs to be for this particular design. So instead of doing that, and I do this on other stitches where it doesn't necessarily, the stitch doesn't necessarily finish in the right place for a bridging stitch, because you can move it across and find that connection. But sometimes what I want to do, and on this occasion I do, because I'm thinking I'm going to do the hearts in one colour and then I'm going to go all the way through the centre in a contrast colour, in which case I don't want these stitches here. What I want is spaces. So within this I have got spaces, so I can add maybe 2 spaces, and then I'm going to put in another heart. So go back to my decorative, and what you'll find is very often on all of these screens, at the end of the choices or at the end of the screen, there's often the option to do a lock stitch or a space. So I don't necessarily have to keep going. Can you see these are all, every screen I go through, those two remain the same. So I can get to, eventually, I think I've gone past it. Did I go past it? Yes, I did. So I'm going to put in another heart and another 2 spaces and another heart and another 2 spaces and then another heart. And I'm going to stitch that out because I want to see how long that's going to be. The other thing I'm going to do is put a lock stitch right at the end there, because then I won't forget. If you want to see what the pattern's looking like on this machine, look, I can tap on there and it's going to show me, and it's gone on to the second line. So let's see, I may or may not need, I'm just going to use the stop start button for this actually. I may or may not need that 4th one. So that's the first one. And then I've got these kind of jump stitches going on. And they are a jump stitch because the heart is starting, if I slow it right down, it's starting with a sort of a 3-stitch lock, and then it's going to finish with it as well, which means that I can cut away those stitches in between. When you're doing this kind of thing, just double check what's going on. So this is the 4th one, isn't it? So I've got that lock stitch at the end. So I can measure this, but can you see I've now got this jumping going through, but what I'm going to do is cut those away because I don't want those stitches there. Now what I could also do is I could change the size of those hearts, because I think when I put them onto my actual leaf that I'm decorating, I think the one down the bottom might be a little bit too fat. So I've just done that, and I'm just going to go and give the bobbin thread a little wriggle so that I've got rid of, so I now have no stitch in between, but look, they're finished. So I could leave them just like that if I wanted to, but like I say, I think what's going to look more effective, I might do it the other colour way round actually, but if I go through the centre like that, I don't know that you can see it. You will see it because I'm putting it onto quite a dark fabric, so I can do that. But I know that these are looking quite nice, and if I measure it up against my actual leaf, I know that they're going to fit into my shape. Okay, so that being said, I've now got my pattern on repeat here, so I can go and do all of the long ones. If I want to use it again somewhere else on my project, then I would actually write my settings here of exactly what I've done, just so as I know. Okay, if you've got the option, you can also put it into your into a file. You can save it in a file if you're going to use it time and again. But often with this sort of stuff, I do all the bits that I need to do with that one particular thing, rather than keep saving it, because I find that very often this stuff will be very slightly different every time you do it. So I think I'm going to go with the light colour for my hearts, and then this darker colour that I used around the edge, I'm going to run that through the middle. So I'm going to do all of those, and again marking it up. So let's find a ruler. Ooh. There we go. Okay, so I just want to give myself a little marking space, and I'm going to come in just over 1/2 inch from the top of each one, because I do think when you're doing this sort of stuff, the time taken to actually sort of mark and measure and everything else just is going to give you a much better finish. So 1, 2, 3, it's just that last one, isn't it? There we go. Measuring it the wrong way around. Let's try and do it the right way around. So there we go, going from the top. There we go. Okay, and like I say, I can then just draw myself a straight line to follow, just going down into there. So I know I can keep it pretty much on the straight and narrow as I go. And as I say, with all of this sort of stuff, just a little bit of time taken doing this kind of thing really does help. So the difference will be is if you're using stitches that do not do a lock at the end of them. So for example, something that finishes with a loop that then goes on. Let me find a, so things like, ooh, back down into the decoratives, this one here, for example, look, it's got a little tail at each end because it's kind of leading into the next stitch. So for these, very often it's actually the bridging stitches that work better for those, because there isn't an actual lock stitch going on. But as I say, I'll do another video on the bridging stitches just to add a little bit more info on that. So let me come back down, make sure I haven't unthreaded while I've been finagling around. There we go. Okay, so I'm starting at the top. So I'm going to line my foot up. And I've got a mark in the centre of this open toe foot. So I'm lining that up with the top point that I made, which, hang on, where's my little piece? Is going to start me off there. And look, my bottom one's going to finish there. So I am thinking, oh, is that bottom one going to be a bit fat? So I'm going to just go back in and go down to that bottom, that last one, and I'm going to take the stitch width down to about 7.5. Okay, so that's much narrower, and then just to even it up, I'm going to go up to the next one and take that down to 8, and then up to the next one, take that down to 8.5, and then that's my first one. So if I look at it now, can you see that ever decreasing hearts going down? So that's now my pattern, and that's saved, and I've got my lock stitch at the end, so we're ready to go. Oh, I forgot I put that on, didn't I? Oh, speed that up a little bit. So I'm just keeping my line centered on that little center mark. And you'll find when you're looking at these stitches and making patterns, don't forget to use the lock stitch and that the space, because they are really useful additions when you're making patterns like this. There we go. And like I say, this one at the bottom, it did really need to be a little bit skinnier, because I don't think it would have been a bit of a snug fit down the bottom. And it's going to finish, there we go, with a lock stitch. So there we go. And as I say, I can cut away these jumps here so that I can go back in with that separate colour, which is what I want. But before I do that, I'm going to go round and do all of these and then do all of that at the same time. So just another little idea on how to use the pattern and these, making really pretty patterns with those stitches.